Hey guys, well, let's wait for a few minutes before we start the presentation. Ratish, Jagannath, Dr. Suresh, and that's an AI note taker. And yeah, Sonia Sri. A few minutes and then we will start. Deepika, can you enable the speakers, mics for them? Yeah, you're sharing your screen if you do not know. Please stop sharing the screen and do whatever you want to do, okay?
I have enabled the mics.
Okay, guys. Hi, please try if you can actually check this out. Hi, Pooja. Hi, guys. Is the mic working? Oh, hi, guys.
Yes, sir.
Is the mic working? Hi, hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hey,
Yes, sir. It is
hey,
working.
hi, guys. Hi, Ratish. Hi, Pooja. Hi, Jagannath, Satish, and yeah,
Hello,
Satish,
sir.
and Sunya Sri, and Suresh. Hey,
Hi Rishi, how are you?
hey.
Yeah,
Doing good. How are you?
yeah, good, great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, just few minutes more, 2 more minutes, and I think 4, 5. Let's start the presentation. Did you have your lunch and tea and coffee? I think it's coffee time.
Yeah, still waiting. Let's see.
What now?
Yeah, so let's start. Quick question here. Let me introduce myself, and I see that some of you I am not aware. Most probably we're meeting for the first time. So, Deepika, can you run the poll quickly? Just it's just few questions. And but I really I made sure I went through wherever you had the domain name in your email address. I did go through your websites. So most probably, I'm trying to make it as relevant as possible to the to you. So please do um, please do so the questionnaires you could actually fill in. There's a Q&A that you can actually fill in, and also you could leave your questions on the chat. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, and also in the chat you can. Yeah. And in the chat also, you could actually message how you are feeling and all that. Um, what your questions are. Coming back. Okay, guys, and we'll take the questions. I'm trying to make it as long, I mean, give more time to the questions than try to make it a monologue. So let me just start the presentation, share the presentation with you. Um, just confirm if you are able to see my presentation. Guys, are you able to see
Yes.
my presentation? Yeah. So, so welcome, and so let me a brief overview about myself. I've been an e-commerce entrepreneur for the last 20 years. I used to own a gifting company in the US, and really went through the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur, and also lived in the digital world for such a long time. I've seen literally every channel that we use today really come up, and really being adaptable, adjustable to it. How does each one work? Where does each one work? So we did a lot of experiments on that, and then today, after 17 years of running that gifting company, I exited and started this consulting firm. And the goal is to work with B2B and B2C companies and help them on the digital side of their business, because I believe through my experience, I've seen a lot of great services and products really being there, but lack of marketing has actually not brought them traction or made them sustainable. So for me as an entrepreneur, having survived so long, I believe sales is number one more than the product. A bad product can still be sold well if your sales is good. So, but a good product really need great sales. It's easier to sell, but the focus should be on sales and marketing. So I really believe that, and that's what helped me sustain for such a long time. So I usually focus on sales and marketing side of it. I have a WhatsApp group which I will share later, but wherein I talk about B2B strategies most of the time, and also answer question and answers and all that. At the same time, you could actually have a quick call anytime. I'm not a guy who's like counting every minute of my life, making somebody pay for it. But I like good conversations, interesting conversations, strategic conversations. We can have one anytime you want. My LinkedIn really gives a slot where you can book, and then it helps. So that's one place you can reach me out, or just say hi on LinkedIn. Usually I respond within an hour. So that's about me and how I'm reachable. But coming to this, so for me, go-to-market strategy is something that's very important. Over the last 3 years, I've actually helped launch multiple companies. When I say this, there are two or three situations where I ended up working on this kind of a thing. One was new segment. Okay, so there was a new customer there. We are already doing good in one market, but how do I reach out to, let's say, I'm doing good in Hyderabad. How can I reach out to Bengaluru? Is one question that we look at. The second question is, hey, I have a service, I have few customers, and I'm really trying to figure out my entire thing. So, how do I build a sales or a marketing engine? So, what we usually do is go through this steps and then set up the strategy for them and then execution plan for them, so that they're able to create what I call as a sales or a marketing engine, which churns out enough leads at any point of time. Okay, and optimize it across channels and all that. So I'm actually going to go through that. That is the second situation. And the third situation is you have, you believe you have a good product and you're trying to go out there in the market. So you have an MVP, and now you're like saying, hey, I need to get my first 100 customers, 20 customers, whatever. It depends on B2B, B2C. And there has to be a process. So this entire, most of the times I end up interacting with a lot of good technology guys, a lot of good product guys who are actually see sales and marketing as if it's a ghost, or as if it's something that's not something that is chewable or can do. But according to me, marketing and sales is a lot more scientific than art, science than art. So I really try to bring those structures. So here is my structure. So what I usually do when this question get asked is, these are the steps that we're going to walk through. These are my typical steps. One, first, do competition analysis, and then define the ideal customer profile, customer target group in the clearest way possible, which I will show, and then develop a competition storyboard, basically understanding where you are in vis-a-vis the market. Then the Fourth thing that we do is based on that storyboard, we evolve a positioning statement. We come up with content strategy as to what we should be talking and how do you develop a message for a certain channel. So these is what we would be going through, and then eventually how do we come up with a 12 to 18-month plan. So I'll actually go through this. The execution part, once you do all these things, I think the execution, putting a content calendar in place, doing the paid campaigns, doing the optimization, brand document, social, all this becomes easier when you do the first five steps. So for me, that's very important. So this is one thing that I wanted to talk about the structure of how you would approach a go-to-marketing strategy. The second one is given, how do you see the entire marketing? For me, there are three parts. One, there's something called owned media, which you own, your social media handles, your website, your CRMs, all that. And then earned media is something that you earn because of your service, because your product is great, and people talk about it, review it. There are others talking about it. And paid media is what you pay for. So whether it is the AdWords, the affiliate marketing, to partnerships, paid partnerships that you come up with, maybe sponsorships also. That's all paid media. So the goal of marketing is to bring a synergy to it. It's not just paid media. This is one thing that I see across board. People visualize somehow go-to-market strategy is money. Somehow they visualize marketing is all about money, but there's a lot of earned and owned which are actually free to do, that you can actually work on. But the goal at the end of the day is to bring that synergy, go deep enough into all these three so that the synergy, and therefore you get the regular sales and marketing happening. So this is about paid, earned, and owned media. Then comes to the competition analysis. So how do you do a competition analysis? So given, so what I'm showing here, typically I've not gone through all the detail, but tried to show you the tables we usually fill in, which actually help you uh, visualize yourself in the entire market. So what we do is called comparables and benchmarks. So comparables are something that, I know everybody thinks they do not have a competition. Even if they have a competition, they believe they're very unique. But for me, I would call them comparables. So when I say comparables, they have actually tried to look at the same market. Either it is a similar product, is a similar service, or similar customer target group. So they all become comparables because you have something to learn from them. By comparing yourself with them, you have something to learn from them. Either is the product side, the service side, or the customer side. They have some commonality. And then the benchmarks are somebody who has done a great job, has really gone beyond the market. He is like the Amazon or the Google of their market, So it helps to visualize how you would look like, what they are doing, because with literally unlimited resources, they're still not using all the channels. They're only using specific channels. Therefore, it helps us say, hey, this is what looks like, after all their $1 million experiments, this is what looks like they've concluded. So it's very important that you have, usually I do around 4 to 5 comparables and benchmarks, one benchmark at least, but at least definitely have the remaining as comparables. Put together this and develop this table. So for me, this table is the, coming back to our owned, earned, and paid media. You could see, hey, who's doing what in a comparison. So you could actually say, hey, therefore, it looks like blog is something that's not there for two people, but looks like, we have it. So great. Earned media, you could see, hey, we have not earned anything, but it's not like, we are the only ones. There are like, one company that actually also is not doing reposts or reviews. So it helps us understand where we are earned. And paid media, maybe, we visualize somehow paid media, but you could see here, paid is not really being used by any of the people except for two organizations, and that too they're actually focused only on influencer marketing. So this clearly says, hey, paid media is not needed to be really there in the market. So it's very important we fill these tablets, usually an intern, usually a marketing guy, or the owner of the organization, somebody in the top management sits down and puts it. And one more, the final part of the table that you see is literally map the number of followers that they have And you could see that, this specific competition analysis, Facebook looks like the biggest one. Okay, so you could see the smaller companies or the bigger companies, it's the Facebook, Instagram combination, and not necessarily, it's not YouTube. There is a decent presence, LinkedIn, some presence, but it's literally taken over. So this market, this whether it is geography or customer target group or the product market, is literally driven by Facebook and Instagram. So that's what we get to know. Presence is okay in the others, but that's what should be driving. So that's for me is the main channel. And so this is one table that we use. The second thing, so you could see here, that's what these conclusions all of them are. And then the organic and search data. Somehow the second thing that I see people just jumping in into after paid search, Google Ads, is that we need to do paid search engine marketing. Okay, paid search engine marketing for me is a long-term journey, and people really do not appreciate, and it's become a lot more complex today than it used to be. So it's very important that we appreciate what is the goal. So what you see here is something called the authority score. And the authority score basically is a score given by Google out of, it's a scale of 0 to 100. And then, 0 to 30 is your beginner, 30 to 60 is your okay, you're good. But beyond 60 is where you become an authority, actual authority. You could see, there's a lot of work that's been done by others. So for you to know two things, one is, hey, if I achieve 30, it looks like, and this is monthly traffic. So literally we are saying, hey, we can expect around 100,000, 50,000 people to visit. So, but going from 0 to 30 is a journey of 6 to 9 months. 30 to 60 is almost 1.5 year. And after that, so it's literally we're talking about 2 years, and then you hit 60 if you are really focused on it. And beyond 60 is literally, it's everyday work for the rest of your life. So when we visualize this specific thing, I would say, hey, should I target? So if my authority score is 4, and if I even if I go to 130, you can see that it's not really growing much. So search engine need not be my focus at this point of time. I will invest because after 30 it looks like I'm getting good traffic. So I would most probably focus on that. That need not be my day one channel. Paid is not my day one channel. Okay. Meta is my day one channel. So that's how you would conclude. And we also do a lot of analysis offline. That's what you would see in the go-to-market strategy. So we go through and say, hey, what are the mentions out there? Are they participating in events? Are they also publishing, getting published in the magazines? Are they also doing event sponsorships too? Are they using offline influencers? Are they doing billboards? Are they doing yeah, what do you call? Are they participating? Putting stalls in certain events, seminars? Are they also doing webinars? So there's so many other channels that these people do. So it usually this competition really brings all that out. That's what would go into my go-to-market strategy beyond social media and search. Okay, and so this is how we usually compile. You could see here, we say, hey, this is the content that they have posted on Facebook, this is what they have posted on Instagram, and we do it for every competition. So you could see here, we know that, okay, so you prepare a content, they're not going channel specific, they're actually posting the same content across. And what are they posting? They're posting certain product promotions, informative posts. You can see, what is the frequency that they're posting, and we conclude it like this. Okay, so you could see here what is the posting frequency versus where are they posting to. So you could see Facebook, Instagram, the same company is focused again, on posting more in Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but not others. And you could see here the content types. Are they posting achievements, promotional, feature updates? This is what we would do so that we know what to cover and what not to cover. Okay, so this is social media, this is search engine, and the rest of the things. Now, coming to the most important aspect. So now that you know what is market doing, and now the focus is on who do you want to target. Here we have actually come up. I put together a few things. Just to help you understand what kind of work. And these days with AI coming in, and all these things are really easily doable. It doesn't really require a lot of great research, but you could see here we put together NRIs. We did it for an organization that was focused on targeting NRIs. So we were saying, hey, where are these guys? What is their typical age? Which cities do they live in? Are they working, not working? What kind of income level do they have? To job titles, departments, which are the places that they work on. So these are all the things that we were able to compile. What are their interests? The reason why we have to do this is because when you're targeting something like Meta, these are things that are going to be useful for you to set your audience. Therefore, it's very important that you do it. And here is what is their behavior. You could see here the NRIs, especially relating to health, they actually want to monitor their health more remotely to what are their daily habits. So they're actually trying to plan for appointments, doctor appointments. What is that usually? How do they hear about the surveys? They usually hear it through word of mouth. They usually are more focused on cost and payment flexibility. So we get to know a lot of things. We actually do this research and list it down so that it's easier. So this is the behavior side of it. And these are the channels. This is again part of the go-to-market strategy. So you're asking, hey, where are they going? Which are the top 5 events they're attending? Which are the social groups they're attending? Who are the top influencers for them? What are the podcasts that they're listening to? What sites do they visit typically? Whether to advertise or not, what are the 5 apps that they use, and top TV, OTT programs that you would see. I have seen sometimes, TV could be the easiest way to go. I know, but if there is a good program that is reasonably priced, could be a lot more interesting thing than actually paid marketing being done for the same cost, like 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees. So so it's very important that we list these down, channels to the behavior, and so this and then sit down with LinkedIn and then put all these things together. You see here, these are the filters. There's around 10 to 12 filters. We literally list down. It comes from Sales Navigator. We actually look at the profiles that got shortlisted and verify whether they are our customers or not. So this helps, which is not, you could see here we even put negative filters. So it helps us know, hey, who is not and who is what, so that we fine tune it. And therefore, the customer is very well defined. So we actually create this, we document it. So if it is Meta, you go towards behavioral filters. If it is something like LinkedIn, you would go towards more what do you call professional filters. But wherever you're going, you really need this. Most of the agencies that you would work with actually put a very broad definition, and which is what is killing all the money that you have. So for me, it's very important that we define. So for me, a good ICP and a segment is around 10,000 to 20,000 people. If it is especially B2B, if it is more like B2C, I would say something around, few lakhs is a good number. But anything beyond that, it's not well defined. So we usually cut it down as much as possible to make it certain segment, because it's very important that you segment it. Most of the money that is getting lost is lost here in paid marketing in the definition of ICP. Okay. Hey guys, just to take a break, I'm just, you could post your questions in the question and answer. You could also post your questions in the chat, and we would be taking it up very quickly. I'm almost halfway through. So now the question is, so once we are clear with the market, we are clear with the channels and the ICP or the customer target group, we come to messaging part. Okay. For this, I take two very simple steps. Put this storyboard together. You could see here, this is for Vitra, which is actually a Indian-based company focused on conversational AI. So you could see here, the minute I put together all their banners that they use through the uh, different sections of their website, I get their story. You could see here, their big focus is on language barriers, communication barriers. Coming from linguistic AI, you don't have to say that, but they're more focused on breaking barriers, whether it is, you could say here, whether it is breaking the team's barriers or breaking team barriers or global. what do you call, actual borders, so they're focused on that. That's what they believe is their target group, and that's what, you see in every statement. They're really saying that, hey, we are a we build, give you opportunities, we break barriers, we are a communication platform which helps you do that. We help you real-time collaboration. You could see empower global communication. Those are the phrases. This is one storyboard. The second storyboard is strength. You could see here again, they're focused. The same company is focused now. These people are saying, how do I give you a powerful content quickly? You saw some video, you created some audio or video. Now I'll help you transform that content into the other formats. To how can I help you, scale up in this translation, transcribing space. So their focus is on a specific service and with for specific thing. This is localized. You could see here, hey, what would you like to localize? Um, there again, instead of they going towards global, look at the way the same market is being addressed as localization. So the story has changed, even though the purpose remains the same, shorten time to market. So what you end up talking when you put these things is very, so it is for you to understand what you want to say. It's very important that you do this storyboard and therefore know what you want to say. Three different companies doing the same thing are talking three different things. And the same problem addressed in a very different way, localization versus globalization. Both are saying, we break global barriers, and these people are saying we help you penetrate local. Both are similar, according to me, and the service is similar. So that's what helps us understand. Okay, hey, these are the problems that I have to do, so therefore, most probably this is the value proposition. So this is one of the things that we have actually helped our one of our clients in that space to say, hey, it's about transforming your business. It's about unleashing the power of conversational AI. It's about harnessing, the 100 plus languages to break the barriers and grow. So it's about bringing value. So this is what we concluded, and we gave these statements, which are phrases according to me that help. So now we know what to talk. Okay, and this is exactly what we talk anywhere. This is your about us. This is your summary. This is your pitch. This is your elevator pitch. This is what is your what do you call email. This is what you would talk to internally to your company. It's very important that you do this storyboard and it is consistent across. Now, coming from there to how do I develop content? You could see here I've actually gone out. So we call this the content pillar is conversational AI. I can say, hey, co-pilots and agents to domain LLM to domain search, competitive, how do I competitive describing competitive advantage? How do I do value creation? So there's so many places that I can talk about this. So for me, these are content themes. So when I say competitive advantage, I can talk so many different topics about how competitive advantage comes. If I talk about value creation, I can talk about a lot of different things that how I create value. If it is about specific technology, I may just pick one technology and then talk more and more about it. So this is how you would actually develop the content calendar, the content strategy, and then here is the messaging. So the same thing we just took and said, hey, we help dynamic pricing models and tailored product recommendations using the AI. So we help you do LLM based research. So you could see here it's become a lot more specific, and therefore the messaging becomes that much more sharper because we actually have a story, and therefore the story is actually getting told in a specific way. You can actually add your pitch deck. You can do case studies. All those things come later. But what do you want to say in that first 1 minute? So you could see here, the top left is we're saying the same thing in 100 less than 25 words. You're saying the same thing in 50 words. You're saying the same thing in almost 75 words. But the story is the same. So it's very important that you know your story before you develop the messaging. So this is how you would go about it. That is messaging, and then finally, this is your go-to-market plan. So you see here, having put together the messaging, the content, and all that, we come back and put, hey, I know I have to do all these things. What is my next 3-quarter plan? Okay, so digital marketing. I do SEO. I may not want to attack it immediately. Content marketing, maybe I have to do it immediately. Social media, I have to be on Facebook. You could even split it to Facebook. I want to be now. LinkedIn maybe later. Paid marketing, I'll start later. Influencer marketing, you may not have to do. You don't have to do every one of them. Okay, so you can say, hey, if I and then offline marketing. If I should I do a workshop, webinars, seminars, maybe summits. So you could see all of them listed here. Local, do you should you attend local events? Should you attend summits? Should you create partnerships? So do I go to franchisees events, industry events? Should I go into magazines? So you've answered all those questions. Now you just put together and say, this is the temporal side of the plan, where you're basically saying, hey, this is what I will do at what time. So this gives clarity. This is your go-to-market strategy. Once you have this with the value propositions and messaging, and with the knowing the competition and the ideal customer, you're ready. Okay. Usually this takes around 2 to 3 weeks. It's worth spending that time. So this is about the go-to-market strategy, guys. I'm all open for questions. Let me just open. Yeah, guys. So do you have any questions? Okay, looks like either when it is too calm, either you know too much or you don't know anything. I'm just joking, guys. Um, I mean, I think the mics are open. You can actually talk if you want to interact. In the meantime, let me just take a pause. Deepika, um,
Yes,
nothing,
sir.
nothing. Yeah. So, I was just thinking, some question somewhere. Guys, ask a question. I actually have seen, let me just try to talk about few organizations that I have actually gone through. And, I see that there are a few D2C organizations. So for them, I see a very different thing. To B2B organizations, I've seen certain products, product organizations, and I've seen service related organizations. For service related organizations, one specific thing that I wanted to say was, don't be abstract in saying that, hey, I do everything. I do everything is not going to sell. Your messaging has to be a lot more clearer. The more specific you are, the more focused you are on a specific segment, the more it helps. That is one thing that I learned. The second thing about D2C is there's a lot of experimentation that you have to do. It's not a straightforward game, for D2C, especially given today, given so much of explosion is happening in D2C, you really have to experiment. So one of our clients, we took almost 6 months, and we figured out that what works, how do you generate leads, how do you develop. It could be, we tried WhatsApp community, we tried webinars, we tried what do you call, doing workshops, we tried doing what do you call giveaways, we tried doing customer word of mouth, and finally, it was more of a mixture of some of them. So it could be like we literally concluded that paid, if we do for 500 rupees a day, 1,000 rupees a day, that's good. Marketplace is more about presence. But whereas WhatsApp community, I really have to be active, and giveaways, I do it only once a month. So we were able to conclude a lot of this combination to be able to say, hey, this is how it looks like, in our segment. That's D2C. And in terms of B2B, what we do usually typically is select 3 segments. Usually the segment is very specific to a specific industry, and the messaging is also very specific. We usually try to send out to 500 of them and then check out how do those 500 respond. Okay. And whether, if they respond, how do they respond? Um, and therefore, so it's a lot of iteration again, but it is very, so you are really focused on a specific product. It could also be a specific problem inside that segment. So you may, or, inside that segment, you may want to focus only on, let's say, if it's a manufacturing organization, you may want to focus on only operational efficiency, even though your product may be able to do a lot more than that. You may want, because you believe that that is where you add value, because the competition maybe is focused on other functions. So there could be so many reasons why you want to focus on that, but you just have to focus on a very specific thing to start communicating. Okay, so that's on the B2B side. Yeah, this is what I thought I should actually share, when I was actually thinking through. Anything else? If
Yes, sir.
not,
Satish is having a question. How to find the right audience? Can you please address it?
okay, sure. Yeah, sure. So for me, it's the segmentation, like I said, number one is listing down those filters is the most important thing if you are B2B. And then getting the messaging right, understanding your positioning. So if you're, like I said, if you're focused on operational efficiency because the market is focused on something else or you are very good at it, then your market audience becomes all the guys who are involved in the operations. So you would actually go back and then segment it from that perspective. Okay. So it's a combination of both, how your messaging, positioning, plus what is possible in that industry to what you want to target. You try to find segments where you can actually your message becomes very meaningful. At the end of the day, it is the message that gets you the leads. So it's very important that your message is specific enough so that and generic enough so that it can be talked to multiple industries, multiple companies in the same industry. So for me, usually we try to talk about, let's say, um, operations team across all companies. Then it becomes very small thing, small enough to say something. Okay. So if it is like technology, where technology service provider, where they are providing AR, VR solutions, we look at just the sales and marketing team focused specifically on it. So we could look at the product managers, just product managers across all the FMCGs or retail organizations out there. So product managers, you may want to talk about how AR VR helps their product get more traction, or it could actually be a small campaign. So you may want to spot. So it really, the audience really depends on the combination of messaging plus what is possible out there given the competition analysis, and therefore and what you can give as proof, so that you're able to immediately get more responses. I hope I answered. And usually it's a six, it's the size of the audience that finalizes it. Without, if it is not few thousand, it doesn't make sense. If it is too small, 100, 200, I mean, you could still go ahead and target, but it's literally like, you can send it, you can literally send it one-on-one. If it is few thousand, you just automate it a little bit. If it is 10,000, you most probably are sending it. And paid usually helps you go faster. It doesn't help on anything else. Yeah, that's about it. I see that there's another question. Hey, we are working on a startup named Bhimavaram Digital Student-led startup. It's all about digital. Wall advertising. We are working on it since few months, really going well in the sense of B2B. But coming to social media, again, we are not up to mark. We are posting content, but instead of posting, we are providing this. Our works so make our visibility in social media. Okay, social media visibility is about distribution more than anything else. I was actually talking to somebody, so for me, it's about a lot of times people actually believe you post and somehow people are going to come. People are not going to come until you put it in front of them. So it's very important that we learn to distribute. So again, it comes back to the analysis. Who is your target customer? Where are they doing? What are the social groups they are active in? What are the activities that they are doing? Just by posting won't help. Yeah, just you have to really push the or push it to the audience. Sometimes you can do even boosting to a specific audience. So it's very important that your audience definition is there. That's paid, but organically you have to distribute. Most of the times, most of the people forget that distribution should happen. So it's very important that you do distribution, Pravina. You can actually come on mic and if you want a follow-up question, you can. What I see is you're able to do wall advertising. Uh, I'm assuming it's digital wall advertising. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but I think it's more about distribution. Yeah, guys, you could come on mic and also talk. All of your mics are actually unmutable. Pravina, did I answer? I think it's SKRK University, right? I saw your website. Yeah. Yeah, that's it then. I think, hey, that's it. So Deepika, please run the polls, but I have few words to say. So guys, for me, when it's a simple thing, when you um, fail to plan, you plan to fail. And it is true. I strongly believe it. Even though the plan may never come good. When I became an entrepreneur, I actually had a 18-month plan, thinking that I would exit the organization within 18 months, and I ran the organization for 20 years. So, but I always had a 18-month plan in my list, which actually helped me think about it over and over again. So please do plan, and this is something that is very important. And one more thing that I saw was a lot of times with especially startups, they do not know what to say in the elevator pitch because they are not focused on what you call the investors actually get exposure to hundreds of companies. So for you to be able to come out with your story, this is the process that usually you have to go through to come up with a story. Even for an older organization, you still need a story. These days, only stories sell. We can't be Pushpa too, but you can still we have a good story to tell for yourself. Okay, so that I don't know. I had to make it very relevant and meme. So Pushpa. Uh, so that's what I wanted to say. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Just ping me wherever whenever you want on LinkedIn, and we could have a quick call also. Take care. Bye, guys. If anyone wants to say anything, please do. Okay then. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.